examples. So now I want to hear from you. What are some examples from what you've heard over the last few weeks, or if you can just come up with an idea, can you give me some examples of what you can make as an NFT?
Well, I think the most classic examples will be songs, it'll be paintings and digital art. But then there's the fun examples, like you mentioned, the pet rocks, and there's some crazy examples like Azealia Banks made a she made a sex tape, but there was also an audio bit that she was trying to get for millions, and she was comparing it to famous works of art. And then there was a guy even in New York that put his fart in a can and sold it for $85, and he's hoping that's gonna go up to thousands. But I heard that someone else tried to do that, and they were disappointed because when they opened the can, they couldn't get the fresh smell. But there's all kinds of weird things, and I guess it's about being first man out there. But the most interesting thing is that eBay apparently now is going to get on this, and eBay is like a virtual auction house. So if they do it, this is really going to become the standard. That's my thought.
It's very interesting, the flatulence in a can. All right, let's put away the anecdote for now. But that is an example of a tangible NFT. And how they did it is going to shape the way we do, for example, drop shipping. Drop shipping is where you're selling items without actually holding the stock. In this case, he created the stock. But like the NFT would be the functionality of saying this is only one of a kind, this is only one thing, buy it here. You will then be verified to know that you own it. And he has criteria as to when you have that little picture of flatulence in a can, and it says verified, it means that you have the bottle. And if he sells it to somebody else, he needs to follow that criteria in order to move the bottle to the next person. So like I said, take away the jokes aside and consider that you can sell anything in that case. You can paint something, put it as an NFT on the blockchain, have the criteria of selling it to somebody else so that they have the painting, and it has to say verified, similar to how McDonald's is a real estate company, but they have criteria in order to build a McDonald's. The criteria is the food in order to own to rent the property out. Okay. Any other thoughts, Dylan?
Nope, that's it.
Awesome.
Can't think of any other weird stuff they sell.
Thank you. Oh, wow. There's a lot. I didn't want to open that can of worms. Can of worms. Next is Kristen.
I'm interested, to be honest.
Oh, there's
maybe we can talk about it at the end.
Yes, yeah, maybe we'll talk about it in the end. I can talk all day about NFTs. Kristen, hello.
Hello. I've never even heard of this stuff before, but this is like the third time I'm having this conversation apparently in Altspace. Like the world is telling me something.
Yep.
The guy was saying that they were selling video game NFTs, like the items within the video game. Like if you get, I guess, a sword or a shield, and that's only good in like one video game, it would be an NFT, so it would, like, you'd be able to take it to another platform or another game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like only like, he's like, think about all like the Fortnite skins that you get and you buy. That's only good in Fortnite. So once you're done with Fortnite, that's it. It's the end of that stuff. It's only worth what it's worth in Fortnite. If you could take that stuff to another game or to a completely different platform, and that's yours to own, then it's yours to own. You could sell it. You can bring it other places. So that was like the first thing that initially came to my mind. I don't know. I don't know how I'd feel about a fart in a can, but, you know.
Yeah. All right, so let's take that as a perfect example of using intellectual property, selling it as digitally as an NFT. So in this case, we're talking about, let's call it digital accessories or digital clothing, right? With Fortnite skins. But what you're actually selling is nothing more than code, and code is it's almost like putting in the code so that fits perfectly or meets the criteria to adopt into Fortnite. The owner who created the clothing or the accessories then puts it onto an NFT platform, so like Super Rare or Mintable or OpenSea or any of them, and he says, you know what? This type of clothing is only available to 20 people. And they look at it and they say, wow, that is rare. That is excellent feature to add into Fortnite, because you will be one of the very few people of the millions that are playing Fortnite that will be wearing the NFT. And when they get sick of it, then they are able to, I'm not sure if they put the functionality, but they will be able to sell the clothing to somebody else at a higher price, but I don't think that would be the case for Fortnite. Fortnite is selling the items without the idea of commissions, where they would be reselling the clothing. Similar to when you buy clothing from Guess or you buy clothing from Vogue. Vogue? Is Vogue a clothing store? I've completely forgotten. Ali?
No, meaning maybe you mean Gucci.
Gucci, yeah. So you buy Gucci
For some
clothing.
reason.
Gucci doesn't say, all right, now you're going to take that clothing and sell it to somebody else. So once again, it's down to the level of credibility of the company that is selling the items. All right. Perfect. Thank you, Kristen. Let's head over to Keith, who is just before Kristen, Ali, before we move on. And the question of today of NFT is, can you give us some examples of what an NFT can be?
Unless if you were referring to glasses earlier. Keith, megaphone is yours.
Sorry, I was glitching there. My light went off in the room. I've been in here for so long that I didn't realise. So
Wrong
when I started
Keith.
dancing around the room, it was because I was in the dark. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
Keith. Okay, we'll go to you, but then Ali, go to the Keith before Kristen.
Yes, sorry. Went to the wrong
Wrong
key.
Keith.
All right,
Well,
Keith.
I don't mind waiting actually. I'm still waiting on a few ideas here. So
Awesome.
go to the other Keith. That's
Let-
fine.
Are you sure? Okay. Thank you.
Because Keith actually raised his hand as well. And don't worry, everybody, we're going to get to you. Molly, we're going to get to you. We're going to get to everybody. All right, let's go to Keith. Hi, Keith.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Sorry about that, Keith.
No, it's okay. Actually, I think there was a bit of confusion because I raised my hand to say hi to a friend. But NFTs, are we talking about cryptocurrency in relation to cryptocurrencies?
Yes, crypto art, digital auctions. What's going on in the digital
Right.
world right now?
It's a very interesting. Honestly, I don't have much of an opinion. It is quite fascinating, the idea of making something tangible as a way to exchange value. I mean, it's an old idea, but it's one that is relatively new in the cryptocurrency space.
Well, also, yeah, because the tangible items on NFTs aren't really spoken about or implemented just yet. And I know that is going to be the main driver for people who who aren't artists or creators, for example, and they want to sell products and items, they want to drop ship. But the beauty about tangible NFT selling
And
is
we
that
lost you. Tim,
And we lost him.
have you lost
There
me?
we go.
Am I back?
please repeat.
So
Yes, you're back.
yeah, the beauty about selling tangible items via NFTs is that it cuts out the middleman. It cuts out all the regulations, all the taxes, because you're dealing with blockchain and cryptocurrencies, and so you will get all the profits, you'll get all the income that you deserve, rather than giving it to the government in some way. I know that the government will eventually find a way to to tax your business through NFTs, but that will happen when you're obviously converting your cryptocurrency into normal currencies, which is
I'm curious. I mean, maybe it's not the topic of today's discussion, but I'm curious about how cryptocurrencies can be adopted, considering the idea of most countries have implemented a concept of making it illegal to use any other currency other than that of that is official of the country itself. So how do cryptocurrencies get around that? I mean, it's probably, like I said, not perhaps the topic of today, but it is quite interesting that people are able to get past that in general.
you can save those questions for the end, but generally countries are able to ban cryptocurrencies. They are able to stop certain websites because they cannot control it. And the thing is that cryptocurrencies gives a great opportunity for the black market, for money laundering, for moving currencies around. They're not oblivious to that work. Even Elon Musk, who's, for example, stopped Bitcoin payments with Tesla because of the bad impact that is happening with the environment on every time a Bitcoin is made. But yeah, we'll definitely cover a whole bunch of questions that you have afterwards. But just out of interest is that the breakdown in kilowatts per hour consumed per transaction, so when you're creating a Bitcoin, is 707 kilowatts per hour. That is frightening, considering that Dogecoin, for example, is 0.12 and Ethereum is 62. So yes, the what are they called? The tree fuckers are definitely going to get involved with cryptocurrencies soon. All right, thanks Keith. You like that, Ali?
Yeah, that was funny.
All right, let's head over to Paccarambo. Tell me, or tell us rather, what type of NFTs do you think there will be? If you would like to share your opinion, feel free to speak or pass.
Okay. I saw an annoying orange NFT, and it got stolen, which is epic because NFTs are cringe, and they're going to destroy the environment.
All right, we have the first tree fucker. On a serious note, it is definitely something that we need to consider. With what
we could just not do them because, like, I just don't even get the point. It's just big ass corporations making money on nothing.
Look, I agree, right? As much as I joke about that, like they need to consider that why does it take so many kilowatts per hour to make a Bitcoin? They need to create some new process, and now they're moving from proof of work to proof of stake with smart contracts. And I think they will all be forced, except Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of fixed in stone with how it was created. And, it was the father of cryptocurrencies. Jesus,
Okay.
That deserves a kick. Goodbye. Next we have is Blue.
You got to it before I did.
Who needs cryptocurrencies when you've got that guy to ruin the environment?
Environmental toxicity.
Blue, let me know what. Can you give me some examples on NFTs? Hello and welcome.
Hi, Blue.
Ali.
Megaphone's yours. Can you hear us? Yes.
Hi.
Try that again. Blue, can you hear us? Feel free to speak or pass. Just let us know.
Yes.
Hi.
Okay, hey, sorry about that.
Hey.
I'm here just learning about the NFTs. Although we are changing into a different realm, especially the gentleman before me, that I think it's verging on interrupting free enterprise if we do start legislating against these things. But my knowledge in this is very shallow, so I'm going to sit back and just pick up what other people have to say.
All right, awesome. That was
100%.
that was definitely not a gentleman.
And thank you for joining us
Understood.
as well.
Yes, enjoy the event. Wow, everyone's huddling up on the right side over there. No,
Gee.
yeah, take
G or Gee, I'm not sure. Help us pronounce that correctly.
G.
Hi, welcome.
Fokker.
G
G,
Forker.
nice.
Hello. You didn't have to mute yourself there.
Let me give you a
You
megaphone
gotta
again. Just
feel-
let us know if you'd like to speak
yes.
or pass.
Feel free. Let us know.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. NFTs. Yeah, I'm not. I was just actually looking upon these NFTs. I'm not sure exactly what they are, but I'm looking to find out more. So, yeah, I'm just gonna be like this guy and sit back and listen.
Awesome. No problem. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy.
All right. So hold on, Ali,
NFT.
because clearly some people need some information. So NFTs is the digital way of doing auctions, right? You put a piece of art up digitally on the blockchain. You verify that it's yours, and then you say, okay, I'm going to sell only one of these, and when they buy it, then that will be the only one that's ever going to be in circulation. And basically, you can either choose the price that you can allow that a person can buy it for, or you can put it on an auction where the market can determine the prices. So the bids and offers can take place and can drive the price up. The difference where an NFT is different to a normal auction is that when you sell the item, you can make a commission. So you can choose what commission you'd like to make, whether it's 20% or 60%, whatever, you choose it. And then when another person sells it to somebody else, they can make a commission. And anything can be an NFT these days. But the thing about today is that we're giving examples, and then I will share some ideas of what an NFT can be, which might spark some ideas for you to start selling or creating your own business. All right, let's head over to Keith.
Keith. Just going through the list.
I think it's this one.
Yes. No, I got it right this time.
That's it.
Keith, hi.
You got the right Keith. So
Yes.
my issue with this is, as you were saying, Timon, at the start, really, that you can pretty much create anything that's unique, and then I suppose any amount of value can be assigned to it in what we would class as a non-economical way. So the traditional way, as you said at the start, of how we assign value is based on supply and demand. With this being a unique item, it's very hard to give it a true value, especially if the creator of that item is unknown. So if I take a plate of spaghetti now and create a piece of art out of a plate of spaghetti, take a picture of it, and this is the only piece that's ever going to be laid out exactly in that configuration, some crazy dude's going to pay me 5 million for it because it gives him a huge tax evasion opportunity to suddenly say, well, I'm happy to pay £5 million for that plate of spaghetti. But in reality, he doesn't get the plate of spaghetti. All he gets from me is a coin, a token that says you've just evaded £5 million worth of tax. And that's the bit where I get a bit confused, because what's he actually got, for his 5 million, other than a shift of he's moved £5 million out of his account or out of his assets and not had to pay tax on it. And maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe that is the real basis of it, is to avoid paying tax. That's my concern.
It could be. It could be. There are limits at the moment with NFT marketplaces, with the amount of money that you can spend at any one time on one NFT. And there's
but you said before that example of 50 million, I think, for for a piece of art, and
Yeah.
the person never even received the art. All they received was the token, and in fact,
Right.
the original creator of that art still holds the copyright and has since made X amount of copies of that piece of art, which is
Right.
also sold in addition to that. So it's like you're not actually getting anything for your purchase other than that token, are you?
But the
So I'm confused.
the
I'm
process that took place was that it wasn't $100 and then it just jumped to $69 million. It was thousands of people inside the community who were bidding and offering, where this guy didn't have any he didn't have any relations to them. Similar to in a blockchain, you just get a string of numbers and letters, and it's almost like asking the similar question of what about when you deposit money into an investment account? Aren't you technically evading tax in a way when you put money into an investment portfolio?
Well, but not necessarily if that money's got a tangible value. So that, I mean, the example you gave there was perfect. So all of us in this room now, suddenly you start the bidding at £1. The guy there says, well, I'm actually willing to pay £10. Then Ali jumps in and says, well, I'm willing to give £50.
Right.
And then this guy suddenly says, I'm willing to pay £5,000. And then suddenly he says, you know what? I'm going to pay 25. And he then says $1 million. So suddenly you've got a legitimate way to say this is now worth $1 million because everybody has upbidded it to 1 million. But is it really worth 1 million? No, you've got a group of really really elitist people who can afford to create value out of nothing for the purpose, I think, of tax evasion. I think that's literally what it is. Whereas real money has tangible value, doesn't it? It's pegged to whether it's a fiat currency in the case of our currencies now, or in the old days, whether it's pegged to gold. Still possibly tax evasion, but not on the same scale as what's possible with this. I think this allows for a massive amount of
interesting points.
Extreme tax evasion.
And yeah, they would be evading tax as long as it remains a cryptocurrency. As soon as they move it to another currency in another country, then they'll be caught. But if there's a black market of cryptocurrencies where you can go shopping for milk for cryptocurrencies, definitely they might be little Nostradamuses saying, you know what, if I have $69 million of cryptocurrencies, eventually I'll be able to spend all my money that I deserve on all the items using cryptocurrencies. But who knows? Listen, we got to think of it like this, Dylan and everybody, and that is the pet rock and the crypto punks and all those ridiculous items of NFTs. What if these are just billionaires that have nothing else to do with their money, and they're doing it for shits and giggles?
Yeah.
Like, as much as we're saying, wow, that's a lot of money, $69 million, these guys are earning that on interest with billionaires. They put their billions in the bank. And then us normal folk are saying, wow, who's spending this type of money? I can swear it could be like a little 15-year-old kid with $1 billion.
Distribution of income.
He's got nothing else to do with his money. And so he goes and say, you know what? I bought a pet rock. That's it. Always looking for the next best thing, which is like the most laborious thing that was expensive. Because what else do you want to buy, Perfect. Let's head over to the next person, and that is Iram. Iram, the question is, can you think of some examples of NFTs?
As you've just joined, feel free to speak or pass.
Yes, feel free to speak or pass. Entirely up to you. Stay on the couch if you want. Or else raise your hand if you would like to speak. Ali, let's go to Tabland.
Okay, 2 seconds. Tabland, hi.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm new to the world of NFTs. Haven't really been speculating or trading. Seen the news here and there. Further to a lot of the stuff Keith just added, I think yes, it's a lot of speculation, And the thing that you said about taxes, I think it happens a lot with modern physical art anyway, where a lot of people just pick mostly dead artists to beef up, because there's never gonna be artwork like that again. But with NFTs, like it's unique by nature, so there's that problem. But I'm starting to think, like, have we, or have some of us, got so much stuff in the real world that we now need to spend money on digital assets, which can be duplicated and amended or hyped according to like completely different rules. Like, a lot of people are familiar with memes. I think I saw where that girl who was standing outside a house on fire with the fire trucks outside, like, they minted an NFT, sold it for quite a lot of money. Cases like that, if you can prove ownership, that's different. But with a lot of these NFTs, it's not really ownership, it's the first people who did it. So, like, the question is, do we now have too much physical stuff that we now want to put our effort and money into, like, binary zeros and ones? Secondly, like, I think it comes down to this whole alt VR and Second Life thing as well, where we've had some millionaires in Second Life quit their day jobs and just start doing property development in the digital spaces. Like, I don't know what the answer is, but maybe that's where we're headed if all of our physical needs are met now. So yeah, I'll keep an eye on this thing, but I don't think I'll be investing yet or at all.
I think a lot of creators
Awesome.
and artists are feeling tired of not being appreciated and valued for the art that they actually have, and the music that they create, and the drawings that they have done, and they can't reach a marketplace with their physical know-how and their physical tools. And so now with NFTs, they can actually say, you know what, look at my art. They can hashtag it, they can get it to other people, and they can make a commission when others sell it. Because think about the amount of time and effort that takes place to make the NFT, all right? And then if they sell it once, that is time lost on one purchase. But if other people sell it and they sell it again and again and again, you can actually consider NFTs as the first form of passive income as an artist, where you're constantly earning commission. So I think people are tired of saying, listen, they're talented, they've spent their entire life trying to make this type of art and music and whatever, and they're not getting rewarded. And now the opportunity is here via an NFT. But thank you very much for your thoughts, Tabland. Next, we'll head over to Horizon. Feel free to speak or pass. The question is,
Let's try one more.
what type of examples would you be able to provide for an NFT? Maybe there's new ideas. Pass.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes. I said, what other examples can you think about to sell as an NFT? You can even make it up and we can talk about it.
Well, the other day I was talking to a friend of mine who does like metal music with this band, and he said they're going to release their next song as an NFT. I thought it was interesting idea because it's like relatively not totally unknown, but I thought, why not? If he does it, maybe I'll buy it. I don't even know how to buy an NFT, but I thought that could be, a way to get out of obscurity, perhaps. So that's it. That's all I have.
Well, I'll give you an example of how you can sell your music. See, I wish Yellow Majesty was here. But I can give you an example of how you can sell your music and at a more expensive price than what you would sell it at normally. Just give me a second. I need to increase the time for the event. 1 second. Because I want to just answer a couple of questions as well. So I'm just increasing the time. All right. So here's a super example of selling music via an NFT. And that is, okay, you've got your music, right? You want to sell it to certain people. So it's 3 minutes, it's 5 megabytes, it's good quality, it's a normal song, but wait for it. There are different types of NFTs that you can sell. You can sell regular, you can sell VIP, you can sell premium. And an example of that is regular is selling the song to somebody, okay? And you can make it whatever, 10,000 of those, 10,000 items of those songs. And then you have premium, VIP, where you can sell your NFT for a much higher price. So let's say the regular price is, how much is a song nowadays, Ali? Geez, I have no idea.
About $1, I guess. The song, it depends on the artist and it depends on the music.
Okay, $1, right, cool.
They can drop down to 30 cents, $1, 5. It depends on the artist and the song.
Okay, so this is how it goes. So you're an artist and you want to have a regular NFT to sell your music to about, let's say, 10,000 people. All right, so you put 10,000 songs out there that people can buy. Doesn't matter. You can put 10,000, 100,000. It's not about scarcity. It's just about verifying that they have bought your own song. And you sell it for $1. Then you have the same song and you can move it into the VIP category where you can pay $50, right? And you get a song and you get 10 minutes to talk to the artist, and you get a ticket to their concert, right? So do you see what I mean? That there's criteria within the NFT. And then you have premium, where you pay, depends on how good the artist is, but let's say, for example, $1,000, and you get a song, the same song that he asked for, and you get to go to as many concerts for the rest of your life to see your favorite artist. Do you see the power of NFTs? And the premium can be maybe 100 people, and the VIP might be also 10,000 people. Doesn't matter. It's not about scarcity and rarity. It's about the value that is created within the NFT and the criteria that you set. And then the premium is where you give them everything. You just unload everything to them and you say, you know what, you are a premium NFT buyer. Here's a song and come to all of my concerts. Even, join my newsletter, join whatever. It's all yours. So that is the power of being an artist and selling as an NFT creator, which I think is awesome. All right, let's head over now to Dr. Sam. Dr. Sam, hello and welcome.
Good evening, Timon. Good evening, Ali, and good evening, everybody. So, like everybody else, I'm totally confused about the role of NFTs. And the reason is very simple. What is an NFT? And I know when we started the discussion, people were talking about an asset. Well, it's not an asset. It is not tangible. You cannot touch it. You cannot see it. And the reason is it is data. It is information. No, it's not information. It is data that is stored on a computer in a specific format, in ledgers, in a number of ledgers, which we call blockchain. So that data is stored there. And it has its limitations of what can be stored there. For example, Kristen was talking about the fart in the can. That is not an NFT. So what an NFT is, if somebody films themselves putting a fart in a tin, sealing it, and then that video is sold as an NFT. The video is an NFT, but the actual fart in the tin is not an NFT. So I think that's something that's got to be clear. Secondly, is that the value is in the eye of the beholder. So, for example, the Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa has absolutely no intrinsic value at all. And that is a physical asset that you can see, you can touch, but it has no value except for its scarcity and the person who painted it. So the average person, if you said to them, would you like a Mona Lisa? The answer would be, no, I don't want a Mona Lisa. But the art collector would want the Mona Lisa. So that takes me to an example. I think the most classical example we're going to get in NFTs is digital art. Those artists that labor hours and hours over a piece of canvas with oils and turpentine and watercolors, those days are gone. What they're going to do now is labor hours and hours in front of a computer and create a digital painting. And that's what they're going to sell. Now, Keith brought up the point about the intellectual property. And I think we need to understand that when you buy an NFT, you become the owner of that NFT. You get a certificate stating that you're the owner of that NFT, and the person who sold you gives up the ownership. So unless in the contract, the NFT contract, the seller says, I want to retain a portion of this ownership, which means that there needs to be a discounted price. The ownership passes on, and that person who buys it is the owner of the original painting, music, whatever it is the owner of the original and can do what they like with it. So that is the critical component. The point is that it's not tangible. So, and it has no value except for the person who is buying it. Now, we were talking about music. So a person creates music, and that music is sold to a company like Sony or Virgin Records. So what's going to happen now is that NFTs are going to replace the Sonys and the Virgin Records. People are going to create music. They're then going to put a value to it and sell it as an NFT. And remember what an NFT is. An NFT means you pass the ownership across. The person who buys that piece of music is an entrepreneur and will commercialize that music in some way or other. If they don't commercialize it, there's no point in buying that piece of music. You can just record it off the television set or off the radio on your cell phone and listen to it as you like. So that's how I see NFTs at this moment in time. Timon, I've said enough. Those are my thoughts. Thanks.
Okay, don't mute yourself yet, Dr. Sam. I think you're seeing NFTs as a very narrow way of how it started, and rather than where it's going. And I think we need to start thinking broader as to the NFT itself is nothing more than code to verify that you own certain intellectual property. And an image, yes, if it's a digital image, like think about this. You take a photo of something that you took 20 years ago, and then you go and put it on Super Rare as an NFT. Because it's not because it's easy to replicate, where it's easy for you to take the same photo and sell it on Mintable or anywhere else, who's to say that you won't do that? And then you sell it again, then the rarity, it makes it pointless. And that's why the people that are doing very well with NFTs are those who are creating it on the NFT marketplace, in the NFT apps, where it's created and then put onto the NFT marketplace to sell to other people. But some people like me, who doesn't have any talent at all when it comes to drawing art or creating music, what I want you to think about is that the future of NFTs is, okay, I'll tell you when we're done with Ali and Jelly Bean, because it's an NFT example that I'm going to be doing for my company. So let's go to Jelly Bean, and then I'll come back to you, Dr. Sam. Ali, still there? Jelly Bean, here we go.
Thanks. Yeah, so an example I can think of, I don't know if it's right or wrong or whatever, is to have someone makes a digital company somehow, or like a digital company on the web or something, and then a big company, an even bigger company will come and buy that maybe. It is a virtual thing that the company will buy it from.
Yes, if the company has streamlined processes that can take place via algorithms, then yes, absolutely. Dr. Sam, me, and many other people know of people who have sold coding, have sold algorithms, have sold streamlined processes for millions of dollars, and they have retired. So to create an NFT with intellectual property via coding and programming is definitely something that programmers and IT artists, or IT specialists rather, should get into and start selling. Their work of art. They can create a game as an NFT and sell it as an app. They can sell it as a video game. So yes, absolutely, it's a good example. Perfect. Thank you, Jellybean. Ali, any ideas?
Yes, sorry, I was muted before and it wouldn't unmute. I have an idea. So NFTs being connected to blockchain. If in the future we have a digital profile, maybe we can get a digital house, digital architecture, everything that we will need as well. So that can be sold as NFTs. I'm just worried about our profiles being sold as NFTs as well, or information, personal information about us. But anyway, I don't want to go into negative points. So yeah, that's an idea I had. Architecture and basically anything, as everything that's in our everyday life. I mean, the list is endless of different objects that can be made into a digital form. For some reason, somebody might want to have.
Digital real estate is definitely something on the list of NFTs, where you could create coding inside Unity and a couple of other programs, create a world or a house or a shopping center or anything really, and then put it onto the NFT marketplace to sell to people. For example, a doctor might want an NFT of a hospital design for the future, or you might want a shopping center design that you could sell as real estate, and you can get an idea of it through 2D images, and then when you buy the NFT, you can put on your headset, and all of a sudden, boom, you've got a hotel or a spa or a hospital, and you've got some ideas to create for in the future. So absolutely.
I basically see us going there. Now, for example, we use Altspace, right? So this world is Altspace. But I think in the future, we will have a digital profile and a digital personality. And we will probably also need a digital world as well. It will be immersed in it a lot more. And I'm guessing it's probably going to be through NFTs and blockchain. But it's still far ahead in the future.
Absolutely.
But not too far ahead.
All right. So we have...
You?
Yeah, I'm just going to talk about some examples of what NFTs can be, which is pretty much everything what you've covered today. And that is NFTs can be anything really that's regarding a digital asset or a digital asset that you sell via tangible criteria. So the most important things that NFTs can be are collectible cards, whether you want to sell sporting cards or cars or games or Pokemon, whatever cards you want to sell. Or what about your own cards? Maybe you've got your own doodling cards that you've come up with over the last couple of years that you would like to sell. Virtual real estate, as Ali was saying. So with virtual real estate, you can sell digital buildings such as shops and hospitals, spas, buildings, apartments, houses, anything. Photography, yes. All the photography that you've taken through your lifetime, you can now upload that onto an NFT site, render it, morph it, change it up, make it original and unique, and sell it individually. Then you've got videos. So maybe videos that you want to sell. Some people are using revenge by selling sex tapes of their ex-girlfriends that fucked them over. So yeah, that can be a NFT, unfortunately. Digital characters, you can sell digital characters via games. You want to make a PS game or a computer game, and you can sell these digital characters inside it. Or clothing, you can make digital clothing within certain games, or maybe even Altspace, where you can buy eventually clothing to add on, because at the end of the day, it's just code. It's nothing more. And then music, which is the big one for me, because where people are getting wrong about NFTs is you don't just sell the songs, but you can sell the songs with criteria. And once it's verified that you have the songs, you can sell a song, you can sell 30 minutes to speak to the creator, you can sell the premium version of going to concerts with that. And it's endless with what an NFT can be. So now we are at the stage where we can open the table. But I just want to mention this one thing. And Ali, please can you give Dr. Sam the megaphones so you can think of something of a different dimension of how NFTs can change things. So one of my mentors, or let's say guys that are really inspire me, who's now involving NFTs into his life, is Gary Vaynerchuk. And Gary Vaynerchuk is an entrepreneurial mogul who has a number of companies and is a social media, not only expert, but he's a professional with how he connects with his audiences. And over 45 years, he has been doodling these funny little drawings that is very close to his heart. Okay? So he's got a huge number of things. He's got, for example, Gone Fishing Fish, Jam Session Snail, Keynote Koala, Mentor Meeting Mongoose, Part of the Team Dream Team, Podcast Panther, Poker Pirate. I can go on. He's got about over 200 of these NFTs that he's now put onto his own website called VFriends. And he is using this channel to not only sell his doodling art to the world, but also with criteria. So, I mean, listen, this guy's worth $200 million, but he gives access to those who have certain NFTs, other benefits. So, for example, there's Lunch Ladybug. So if you buy a Lunch Ladybugs, you will get to have lunch with Gary V. There's Brunch Bear, which if you buy Brunch Bear, you will get to have brunch with him. There's Keynote Koala, where if you buy Keynote Koala, you will get to go to all of his keynote seminars, or maybe one or two. I'm not sure how he's done it. Wine Shopping Spree Woodchuck. If you buy the Wine Shopping Spree Woodchuck, you will be able to buy his wine that he's been creating or making for over many years. So he sells the NFT, and then he has tangible value that is provided with it. So Dr. Sam, that is where the tangible idea of NFTs comes from, is that if you are verified as an NFT owner, this is what you will get other than this code that is in front of your eyes that has been verified. What are your thoughts on that? Ali, I need to give him the megaphone.
I totally disagree with you, Timon. And the reason I totally disagree with you is that you're confusing an asset with an added value. So what he's done is he sold a digital asset, which is a doodling, which is rare, not reproducible. So that in itself, to collectors, has a value. Having lunch with him or having brunch with him is not an asset. That is added value. It's a once-off and it's gone. So it was just the privilege of having brunch with a famous person and meeting the artist. Like anybody would have liked to have met Michelangelo if it was possible, or Picasso if it was possible. But that's an added value. It's not an asset.
But isn't it?
That is just my thoughts on it.
No. But isn't it?
It's an added value.
But isn't it the greatest opportunity that you can have with an NFT, where you can incorporate extra?
You can do that. You can do that with anything, Timon. You don't need an NFT to do that. You can go and buy a famous painting, a tangible famous painting, and say, I will pay a premium if the artist will have lunch with me.
Yes.
So an NFT hasn't enabled that. So
but there's a problem.
Let's not get around it.
But we do know that with an NFT, you cut out the middleman, you cut out the tax, you cut out the currencies. Like, this is where you take control of your own business. And
that's not the purpose of an NFT.
No, it's not the purpose. The NFT is just the coding that you get from buying or selling something. It's just a piece of code.
No.
And what comes with it is the value that the NFT has brought upon.
That an NFT is another investment instrument. And as I said to you, it's in the eye of the beholder. And the person has to perceive the value in that. So let's not get bogged down with technicalities. But, what we spoke about last time, I think in terms of the real explosion of NFTs will occur when all of us, not me, I'm an old man, I'm not going to live that long, but all the youngsters who start running dual lives, where they run a life in real time and when they run a life in virtual reality. So when they start, and it's going to happen, we see it already. People are spending more and more time in games. We spend quite a lot of time here on Altspace, and it will become a way of life where you will start spending a lot of time in VR for many reasons. And as soon as you start spending time in VR and you have a social circle and you have friends and you start entertaining, you will be able to go and buy customized furniture via an NFT, customized art via NFT, which you'll be able to put into your digital house where you will invite your friends, for example. You'll be able to buy unique pieces of music that nobody else will have. And if they want to hear that music as an NFT, they want to hear that music, they've got to come to your house. And what's going to happen is nightclubs are going to be buying this type of music from artists like Yellow Majesty. And that music is going to be unique to that digital nightclub, where people are going to go to that nightclub to hear that music. And it will only be available in that nightclub. Nobody else will be able to play it. And that's how I see the future on NFTs. Sadly, for me, is I won't be around to see that. Thanks, Timon.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's way in the future when VR is going to be second nature to a lot of people in the world, because VR is only one type of extended reality. But right now we need to think about how NFTs are going to affect the world and how people can use it. So as an entrepreneur, if I were to sell, for example, an NFT, which is one of my doodling pictures of a stock market, and I sold it for $160, then I would also provide them with a program that they can use to watch and learn how to trade, for example, or learn how to trade the financial markets. And the safe thing about doing it via NFT is that it's not reproducible. They can't duplicate it. The piracy issues are a thing of the past. So that's, as an entrepreneur, I would always think about the value added rather than the NFT itself. So for example, if you're a photographer who does digital photography, you're not going to get a lot for it if you're the common folk, unless, you know, there are a few people, a rare number of people that do go viral, and those things we can't control. But as a photographer, you got to say, okay, how can I be unique to other photographers? Well, how about this? I will make a course so that when they buy my art, not only will I be giving them that digital photograph, but I'm also going to be showing my entire work that took place in order to take the photograph so that they can reproduce and make their own photography to sell it as an NFT. You know, that's where my mind as an entrepreneur goes, is that provide them with not only the item, but also the know-how. All right, let's go to Halion Aeon. Am I right this time?
Hi.
Halion.
Hi, Halion.
Hello, hi there.
Hi.
Apologies for again being late, but this time at least I was at another event about NFTs. So,
wow.
You were both on it at the same
No
time.
ways.
There's an AWE, they were NFTs, so they were some guys in the NFT world.
Oh, I see it.
Very interesting, actually.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'll go there afterwards.
Yeah, and it's very frustrating because I wanted to be here, but that was interesting as well.
Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really trying to get my head around NFTs exactly, in terms of the practical side of things. I mean, for example, if well, as you know, I'm writing this book, so I've got IP on a book, and as part of that book, I've got some images, you know, I use on the covers and things like that. So so I'm trying to get clear how that could relate to NFTs in this wonderful, brave new world. I mean, could I, for example, say, well, okay, I've got this image now. Okay, they're not, you know, I don't know if anybody wants to look at them, but let's say I picked an image that I'd created for the book, so I own the IP on that. Could I say, well, okay, I'll create 100 instances of that, and say that's all there's ever going to be, you know, 100 people say allowed to use that in their whatever they want to use it for, and then make each of those an NFT? Would it be 100 NFTs? And also, what actually is an NFT? Is it a bit of, when you say code, is it a bit of software, or is it a set of numbers, or what? You know, I've not picked over an NFT in the street before. So, what do you actually? What is an NFT in your hand? What is it?
An NFT is a non-fungible token. They are digital assets. So whenever you hear the word digital, that is code. That's all it is. So they digital assets.
When you say code, do you mean? I think of code as a program. I'm a software engineer, so I can do coding.
Yes.
But you mean a code as in a set of bits?
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
is that what you mean?
Yes. So digital assets. So for example, when you build a world here in AltspaceVR, there's a certain amount of code in order to, you know, have the couches where I want each time, well as,
I mean, it could be a set of coordinates. And,
yes.
Yeah. Whatever format you save, you know, a world in. I guess a bit of a file with a load of coordinates and textures and goodness what else. Yeah.
And then put
that's a load of stuff. But
yeah,
is that not an NFT? That's just a set of code, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
an NFT.
That's the code.
Something in the blockchain.
And then when you move it onto a blockchain, in a reputable website, secured, verified website that facilitates NFT transactions, similar to creating shares on a stock market, you will
Right.
then provide certain functionalities in order for people to find your code or your image, video, digital real estate, whatever you want, and you choose the commission percentage that you want when you sell it, and when they
Yeah,
sell
okay,
it, you
so that's
choose your commission percentage, as well as
Yeah.
as well as you got to pay to put your digital code onto the marketplace, and you'll do that by paying a fee. So the main NFTs are through Ethereum, and Ethereum charges something called gas, and the gas fee is what they will take as a form of income for themselves, but also to facilitate the trade and verify it and channel it into the blockchain for people to buy and
So
sell.
where is the actual data for the world image, whatever it is you're doing? Is that itself put in the blockchain,
Yes.
or is it just some sort of reference to it?
Well, I mean,
what is the
you're putting a block. Your NFT is a block in the blockchain. And then if somebody else wants to own your NFT, they have to meet criteria, which is obviously to pay for it, and then they will verify it through the nodes. Nodes are computers that own the blocks. So once they verify that is the exact NFT and all goes well, then you will see when you reload your page, it will say, this is what you own with your NFT, and it will have a little green button saying verified, showing that this is what you own, and now you can sell it onto the NFT marketplace to somebody else, if it's allowed.
So it's the actual data itself that constitutes the digital item that you're selling. Is that actually put in the blockchain?
Yes.
Or is it some sort of reference? I mean,
Yeah,
this is what I'm just trying to get.
Think about rendering. So when you have an image or a video,
your item could be gigabytes. So can you put gigabytes of data into an NFT?
I guess so. I haven't seen anything.
But doesn't that have to get the blockchain? The purpose of blockchains, it's spread across, many computers, and that they all have.
Okay.
Ledger. It's a ledger on it. Yeah.
Let me help.
I'm trying to get this clear.
All right. Let me help you with this. Okay. Because there aren't many people. So NFTs are built using two Ethereum token standards. There's the ERC 721 and there's the ERC 1155. The ERC.
They were just talking about that.
So ERC stands for the Ethereum Request for Comments, and this is what results with the standards to create and build a software using Ethereum and have them approved by the Ethereum community. So these standards help enable the software developers to adapt and become compatible to the blockchain ecosystem. So by this, I mean developers are able to build and host NFTs on the current blockchain networks like MetaMask or Neo or Tron or EOS or MyEther wallet. And if you want to buy an NFT, you'll first need to buy Ether on a handful of those platforms, and then you can shop or create as many NFTs as your wallet allows. There's also the World Asset Exchange, which you can buy and sell NFTs. So and I expect the number of these different crypto exchanges to buy and sell are going to go way up in the future. It's going to be almost like going into different shops. And I know Wax, for example, is popular for virtual character and video game related NFT purchases. So you'll be able to create a world in Altspace, put it as code, and then load it up on the ERC as NFT. And then the thing is...
So what's...
Yeah, then there's a process for verifying it on NFT marketplace. So, for example, Super Rare, if you want to create your own NFT on Super Rare using blockchain technology, you're going to authenticate your work. So digitally sign your work by creating a tokenized certificate. And then step 2 is you set your price and you just let it go. You let the markets and the collectors bid on your art in the digital art place, and you'll let the auction run, and that's it.
So who regulates, or is there a regulator for all this? I mean, if there was a blockchain which covered all these assets, so this is spread all around the world, and I know it's difficult to corrupt. You can't corrupt it. You can't add records, and all. That's the point of blockchain. Does somebody own it? If somebody, I suppose it's on computers that aren't owned by a particular person, aren't they? That's the point of it, isn't it? I'm just trying to worry. I'm just sort of thinking, how secure is it? Because there were some cases of people tying up loads of money, wasn't it, Bitcoin? And some guy forgot the passwords and things like that. A whole chunk of this just then disappeared. That's happened with, and isn't it the reason why some of these other currencies were created? It was because somebody did something which tied up a whole load of the. There was some error. That's right. There was an error, wasn't it? It's not Bitcoin. It's one of the other ones.
Yeah, well, one of the
they
altcoins. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad coding,
Yeah.
and it just collapsed in itself.
Yeah.
And that's why you've got to choose your altcoins very carefully. I'll let Dr. Sam answer because he sent me a message.
Yeah, sorry, it doesn't matter. No, thanks for that, Timon. I need to go and read about it, really.
Dr. Sam?
And you're way over your time. Hello, Dr. Sam.
Just hold on a second.
I'll try you as a friend,
You got to be close to him, I think. Yeah.
Hi. I just want to answer Halian's question because, we just went around in circles. So what is an NFT? So an NFT is the end product of data. And what is the end product of data is information. So let me give you a corollary. When an artist in real life creates a piece of artwork, he has a canvas. When a digital artist develops a piece of art, they have a software. That software is the front end for creating the art via coding, via data. So when you create an NFT, you create the end product in the language that can be understood by the person who's buying it. So for example, if you're creating digital art, it would probably be JPEG. It might be PNG, for example. It might even be a PDF, for example. But you need to have. You're correct. So your photograph that you want to put as an NFT, you would put it as a JPEG. You wouldn't put it as the binary as a 01020101. You wouldn't put it as that because that can only be interpreted by the computer that's got the software to interpret it. So digital art would probably be JPEG or PNG
or whatever, some standard.
Music would be obviously MP3.
MP3,
and a video would be MP4. So in blockchain, remember, Halian, blockchain, all it is a ledger. It's millions and millions of ledgers throughout the world in the cloud that communicate with each other and store the same information.
Right.
And that's so that avoids the security problems. So your piece of art would be stored as JPEG in the blockchain on thousands of ledgers, and you would sell it as a JPEG. The person who buys it would view it as a JPEG, provided they've got the software to see a JPEG file. So that's what it is.
All right, cool.
Simple as that.
So you're saying that, so the actual data, the file, JPEG, whatever, is itself stored in the blockchain.
Correct.
Even if it's terabytes. If you
even if
some
it's
of those
terabytes. Even if it's terabytes. The problem, and I think Timon touched on this, is the bigger the file, the more the gas fee.
Yeah.
So the gas fee is the fee that is charged by the NFT broker.
Right.
So that is that is something that we need to get over, because a lot of people are selling their artwork and not covering the gas fee. And so they're paying out of their pockets to sell their digital art or digital music.
We'll save. We definitely need another lesson on Thursday on NFTs regarding gas fees and tokenized. But I'm going to head over to that other event now.